Tonight, breast milk and politics collide. You just don't say that every night. Anyway, a new report says U.S. delegates to the World Health Organization pushed to scrap a resolution meant to encourage breastfeeding in underdeveloped countries.
Yeah, this one's a head scratcher. The baby formula industry is worth $70 billion. That's true. Breastfeeding has become more popular in more developed countries. That's been the case for 30 years. So we wanted to readdress the question we already know the answer to, but we wanted to brush up on it. Which is better, breast milk or formula? Here's Adrienne Broaddus.
Parenting is a gift, and it comes with a tidal wave of decisions. Moms have to determine which is best, breastfeeding, formula, or both.
It's a highly emotionally charged topic, that is for sure. I try to take the lens of what's the best thing for the baby.
The New York Times reports the Trump administration wanted to water down an international resolution promoting breastfeeding. The report claims U.S. officials fought against language that all governments should, quote, protect, promote, and support breastfeeding. Dr. Gigi Chawla, Chief of General Pediatrics at Children's Minnesota.
You know, it's pretty disappointing, actually. The American Academy of Pediatrics, all the academies for OB and gynecology, family practice, the CDC, the WHO, who they all support and promote breastfeeding, and so should we.
Dr. Chawla says the good outweighs the bad when it comes to breastfeeding.
From a nutrition standpoint, it's the perfect nutrition for babies. It's exactly what they need in order to grow. It changes based on what babies need. So if babies are having or are going through a little growth spurt, the amount of the calorie density and the compensation of what's needed in breast milk will also change in order to meet what is needed for growth.
The report alleges that the U.S. threatened countries over the resolution, which eventually passed. But in a tweet, President Trump denies the report. He said, in part, the U.S. strongly supports breastfeeding, but we don't believe women should be denied access to formula. Many women need this option because of malnutrition and poverty.
People are trying to say that moms should have a choice, and agreed. All moms should have a choice. But breast milk really is best. It is healthiest for your baby. There are only a few contraindications for when moms shouldn't breastfeed. HIV might be one of them. Certain medications that moms are taking that might be a contraindication to breastfeeding. If moms are sick themselves, breast milk has got antibodies and all sorts of protective features to keep babies as healthy as possible. You know, and some studies will actually show that you can decrease the amount of ear infections by 50 to 70% just by breastfeeding as compared to formula alone. We want moms to feel good about what they're offering to their babies for growth and nutrition, and you know, formula is wonderful. It's a wonderful substitution, but breast milk is best.
Yeah, it's that collision that you talked about right in the beginning. It was confusing a little bit when the president came out with that tweet because it completely negated. It wasn't just the New York Times that did this story. Everyone did this story. There were 30 national stories this morning. So maybe he had some lost in translation moments with his counterparts in the American delegation, or
they threatened to pull funding
from
several countries if they didn't change the language about breastfeeding.
Right.
It's like, well, there were multiple sources who reported that.
Right, so we can rest assured that happened. And if it was, again, lost in translation, thankfully cleared up. But as Adrienne pointed out, it went absolutely nowhere. Nobody was siding with the U.S. on that idea.
Side note and pro tip, dog had an eye infection once. Put breast milk in the dog's eye. Cleared up in an hour. Some say it's not possible. I watched it with my own two. Milk of the gods. Just saying.